Anna was 25 years old, married to her 40-year-old husband for 4 years. They had a small son, just 3 years old. In the early days, they were close, happy, and full of warmth. But over the past few months, something had changed. Her husband came home from work, ate dinner, watched TV, and went straight to sleep. On weekends, he claimed he was busy, attending meetings, playing golf, or shutting himself away in his home office. He was the boss at work, surrounded by people, but at home he seemed distant. Anna had once helped him with documents and finances, but now she stayed at home with their child. He no longer accepted help from anyone, saying he didn't trust people. They used to share small traditions, like drinking Chinese tea together every night, talking and laughing, looking at each other with love. Now there was only silence. No tea, no conversation, just television and sleep. One week, Anna sent their son to her mother's house, hoping to spend a quiet evening alone with her husband. She thought maybe he simply needed rest. But that night, he came home, ate, and went to bed without a word. The next morning, he left early, even though it was the weekend. Sitting alone in the kitchen with cold tea, Anna felt like a stranger in her own home. She decided she had to talk to him. That night, she cooked his favorite dinner, wore the dress he once admired, and did her hair and makeup. When he arrived late again, he barely looked at her. Her heart pounded, but she asked softly, "Can we talk?" Surprised, he agreed, and they sat together on the couch. She fought back tears and told him he had changed. He no longer smiled, talked, or even seemed to see her. When she asked if he still loved her, he said he did, but that he was tired and stressed from work. She asked if there was someone else. He quickly denied it, saying he was simply busy and needed her patience. Wanting to believe him, Anna agreed to wait. But the weeks passed, and nothing changed. He still came home late, ate in silence, and remained distant. She tried to smile, to be patient, to plan a weekend trip for just the two of them, but he said, "Not now." One night, she sat in the dark, looking at old photos of their wedding and first trips together, wondering where all the love had gone. Another evening, after sending her child to her mother's again, she waited for her husband. When he arrived, he went straight to his office without a word. Standing outside the door, she lifted her hand to knock but let it fall. She returned to the kitchen and sat with a cup of cold tea, thinking maybe he no longer saw her at all. She began to wonder if they were still a married couple or just two people sharing a house. Mornings were no better. He would leave without a kiss or goodbye. Her heart was no longer angry, just tired. She wrote him a short letter saying she still loved him, still hoped for them, but couldn't be the only one trying. She missed his heart more than his presence. That evening, she tried once more, asking if he wanted to go for a walk. He said, "Not now, maybe later." Something inside her broke quietly. While he worked in his office, she packed a small bag for herself and their child, leaving a note that she had waited with love and patience, but needed to find herself again. She wasn't leaving forever, but she could no longer stay invisible. That night, she walked into the cool darkness, holding her child's hand, not away from love, but toward healing. One quiet evening, after putting her son to bed, she walked into the living room and saw her husband's phone on the table. She hadn't intended to look, but the screen lit up with a message from a woman. "I miss you. Did you think about me today?" Her hands shook. Her heart stopped. She didn't open it. She didn't need to. Tears filled her eyes. Was this the reason for his change? When he came back into the room smiling, she looked at him and wondered how someone she loved so deeply could make her feel so small. She stayed silent, afraid to hear the truth. That night, lying next to him as he slept, she cried quietly, thinking of how she had given him everything, her love, her time, her youth, while he gave his attention to someone else. The next morning, she didn't cry or shout. She simply sat at the table with cold tea. He greeted her, but she didn't answer, and he didn't notice. That evening, she decided she had to choose herself. When he came home, she told him calmly that she had seen the message. She reminded him she had given him 4 years of her life and her trust. But she couldn't go on like this. He didn't deny it, only said, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you." That was when she knew the distance, the silence, and the pain were real. She told him she needed time to think, to breathe, and to feel like herself again. That night, she took her son to her mother's house. It was the most painful choice she had ever made, but sometimes love isn't enough. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is choose yourself. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel.